Hello everyone, sup everyone, hope you are all well. This is your sister Amma, but this video will be in English. I'm getting ready for the drive, so bear with me. My lips are dry. From a village, we don't lipstick, best we do is lip gloss. So welcome to the drive with Amma. We are going to break it down, and we're going to break it down as realistically as I do always. Today, I was about to record this video anyway. I have my notes ready, and then a sister shares a video which was done by a pastor, and I knew that the appointed time was today. So I am going to record it today. It's about the difference between certain things that we confuse. Let me explain. Everybody has a character. Everybody has a personality. These things are influenced by a person's behaviors, and it's driven by a person's beliefs. Okay. It's characterized by your behavior, so your behaviors are the symptoms. But the actual core thing, your character, is actually determined by the beliefs by which you are raised. So I've said this to many people. If you look in a community, the atheists have certain things in common with the Christians in that community. They have certain things in common with the Muslims in that community, because those things are the belief sets that the community actually subscribe to. The belief set is often what causes the issues. I've seen people blame religion, and it's always the fault of religion. I'm trying to get people to realize that it goes deeper than just the religion a person ascribes to. Because the way we even do religion is driven by these moral sets. What is acceptable and what is not acceptable fundamentally drives a lot of things. And what is acceptable and what is not acceptable fundamentally shapes your character. It is a person's character you check. No, you don't check the fact that he comes from a Christian home. You check that his actions are actually concordant with what you want. You want to check his anger. That has nothing to do with whether he's Islamic, he is Christian, he is atheist, doesn't know where he stands, he is conscious, he is woke. It doesn't change. Any of those things don't change. They are driven by the moral script the person is raised with. Let's talk. So you can marry a very successful man, and I've seen this happen so many times. A responsible man, like we do. He is a responsible man. What in God's name is a responsible man? But that's a story for another day. But even these responsible men, we see, begin to exhibit certain characteristics, because that's in their nature. This is their character. This is how they see people. They condescend to people. They look down on people. They treat you like dirt. They own everything. That's their character. So this video a child shared with me was of a pastor who was explaining charisma. I go beyond charisma and anointing and blah blah. Yeah, it is my job to be a teacher. So I educate and I teach. But even how I teach is driven by my fundamental beliefs. The way I think children should learn. I am a social constructivist teacher. That is my ideology. And because I am a social constructivist, I expect that children should learn in a social environment. So I will create social environments. I want children to talk and interact. I am not an instructor. I am not an actor. I am not a musician. I am not one who stands at the front and listens to my voice. No, I have a funny habit of not speaking more than 5 minutes in a lesson. It's a rule that I subscribe to, and I build my practice around this. My lessons are activity based. See, I'm black, but I am a social constructivist. I've seen green people who are social constructivists. Even yellow people who are social constructivists. And because these people are social constructivists, we will have certain similarities in the way we deliver, even if the lingua is different, even if the setting is different, even if we have different faiths, even if we have different beliefs. This fundamental ideology determines an awful lot. And that's one of the reasons why our ancestors used to do family background checks. They did family background checks because they wanted to check fundamental ideologies. If your father is abusive, it set the precedent for the boys to see that as okay, potentially, in most cases. We're talking averages here. And for the girls to also be so desensitized to it that they think it's normal. Yeah. A girl who's never experienced abuse will be so shocked and will be so appalled the first time you see it. You will resist it with everything you have because it's weird. It is unacceptable. One who is a product of abuse will be desensitized to it. Is less likely to create drama as a result. May even accept it because it's normal. That's why we look at family histories and we look at patterns, because we are looking for ideologies, fundamental ideologies, fundamental beliefs, the precepts of everything. When you see a man or a woman and you are looking to evaluate this person, this knowledge is critical. I am a very powerful speaker. And because I am a very powerful speaker, you might be fooled by certain things about what I say. Those are professional skills, communication. I would be able to hold eye contact. I would be whatever. There is charisma in that one. But the charisma does not change much about my character. What I fundamentally believe will seep into what I say. It will influence how I say it, no matter how polished the outer casing is due to the professional skills. And that's what a lot of us need to learn. A person is a priest, is a pastor, doesn't mean that they will be a good husband. What would determine the kind of husband they would be is the kind of father they have had, the kind of experiences they've had in their community. What has been established in their head as the norm is what will bear fruit in this person. There are some people who cut against the grain and they do what is opposite of what they didn't like. That's possible, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that's not possible, but I'm telling you that what a person ultimately believes influences everything they do. The fact that your husband is a professor doesn't mean that he will be a good husband. The fact that the guy is financially stable does not make him a responsible man the way we do responsible man. Actually, even if he's responsible for his bills, does not mean that he is somebody who will treat you fairly. It doesn't mean that this person will know how to act right by you. It doesn't mean that the person is educated so they are not misogynists. That's what you need to look for, character traits. A person is a misogynist because they don't value women. It is influenced by where they are coming from, the things they have seen, the norms of the community they come from. And if they are from a team of misogynists, as much as some people try to rise above it, you will still see some fundamental evidence of misogynism in their character. It is the character you look for, not the charisma. It is the core processor that you want to know. What a person believes fundamentally is what you want to check when you are dating this person. The performance of somebody's profession does not mean much when it comes to the way they will act and the way they will behave. It is their beliefs which drive these, and it is their beliefs you want to test. It is their beliefs you want to interrogate. It is their beliefs you want to be clear about, so you don't misunderstand a person's position. Anybody can drive a good car. Anybody. Even a driver who hasn't bought it. Most of these cars you can see behind me are driven by drivers. Some of the most expensive, luxurious cars ever are driven by drivers. That's a Lexus Extreme I'm going past. The person who bought this Lexus Extreme is unlikely to be the one behind it driving. Anybody can drive a car. The fact that you've seen a guy and he doesn't have 2 pence in his pockets, does that tell you the kind of guy he is? No, you don't. It just tells you the kind of opportunities he has had, the kind of opportunities he's taken. If you see a broke guy, you may see missed opportunities. It might be opportunities he missed himself, or it can be generational opportunities people in his heritage and his lineage have missed. But what you see is missed opportunities. It doesn't necessarily tell you about a person's character. My ability to buy this and to give you that doesn't tell you much about anything. Sisters especially, watch a man's character, because you don't hide character. A person's character is like a tree. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. It will bear fruits. And by the fruit ye shall know them. Let's start from some examples. I've seen too many well-dressed men parading as gentlemen lose their cool in a restaurant because the wrong change was given. Flag. It means that the polished exterior is hiding a volatile temper. Volatile temper, which can exhibit itself in very dangerous ways. Very dangerous ways. And you do not want to be caught in one of them. A polished man will be very rude to every female you know. His mom is stupid. His sisters are irresponsible. His feminine neighbors are weird, but he doesn't have anything negative to say about the males. Misogynist, chauvinist, misogynist. The outer casing doesn't really change much. That is a person's fundamental subscription. And you want to know their fundamental subscription. You do not want the outer casing to influence you. This guy does not seek your opinion in anything. He actually shrouds this in love. He says that he doesn't believe a woman should work. He doesn't believe, he believes a man should take care of everything. Watch those ones. A lot of those guys are misogynists, but they encase it in wanting to make your life easy. And a lot of us women are materialistic. So when a guy says those misogynistic things to you, you don't take your time to look at it because you buy into the convenience of it, right? Anybody who wants to pay for all the bills and doesn't want you to pay has a reason. I kid you not. I am a woman who contributes to the bills. I am a woman who insists that I pay my fair share of the bills. I am the kind of woman, if you leave, will even pay most of the bills because I have my reasons for it. I am not stupid. I have my reasons for it. And it's the same thing for a guy who wants to pay for everything. It's the same thing for a guy who wants to own everything. It's the same guy who wants to have everything controlled by him. It is a control technique. It is a self-preservation technique. Yes. So be thou very clear that this guy who will not let you, he wants to buy everything, including your mobile phone. Have you asked your reasons why this person, in spite of the fact that you work, in spite of the fact that you should contribute so he could have some money spare, does not want to save himself the expense? He wants to buy everything, including the air you breathe. Have you thought about it for a minute? No, you don't. Because most of us don't actually get into a person's mindset. You don't interrogate why people do things. Like I said, myself, an example. I insist that whatever machine I am driving, maybe a time will come and maybe things will change, because that's the only constant in life. Maybe having done this for so long and having accomplished to a point, I might relinquish that one. But up to this day that I record this video, whatever machine I am driving, consultation. It will be done in discussion. This is not paid for by anybody else. You know why? I want freedom behind this machine. I do not want to panic if somebody should ram into the back of my car. I don't want to be worried if somebody should clip the back of my car. I don't want to go and explain. I want to fly into a rage because this guy has ruined my car and not be scared to go home and tell my husband. I want to go back home and tell my husband, oh my God, look at the stupid thing I've done to my car. And I want my husband to look at it and say, what? What happened? Like, I was an idiot. He says, okay, be careful, idiot. But I never want my husband to look at me and say, are you stupid? You don't look like you're doing. Yeah. It's exactly the reason why this is not negotiable yet. It's the reason why this must be something this has contributed to. There are reasons behind these things. A lot of women see women like me and you think we are stupid. But it's because women like you have never thought about the reasons behind certain things. It's okay, I'll pay all the bills. You buy the food. Do you recognize those? Yeah. A huge percentage of the guys who do that are misogynists. They are chauvinists. That is the fundamental ideology. A man must provide for his family. Why? Because his wife is incompetent? Because currency is different when a man earns it and a woman earns it? Huh? A woman's money should not pay for anything. Really? Have you actually explored the reasons why a woman's money is not acceptable in the bill? Because it will grant you a voice. Yeah. You are relegated to irrelevant things like food so that your contribution doesn't look meaningful. Yes, that's the actual ideology there. Yes. You stay home and mind the kids. Nope. Nope. If you're going to stay home, there are certain securities that have to be in place. And in fact, in most cases, if a person is actually that willing to pay for all the bills and they could actually spend some of the money paying for a nursery, so that you could go and make a meaningful contribution to life, so that you could also feel valued in the contribution, and yourself and the children and everybody in your life will see that you were a good contributor and people don't take you for granted and erode your confidence. It is your confidence and the erosion of your confidence, which is the misogynistic tendency that I am actually highlighting and flagging. The casing doesn't mean anything. A lot of very high-powered men have this belief that a woman's place is behind the stove. That's a fundamental belief. That a woman's place is not in decision-making in the home. That's a fundamental belief. That a woman is somewhat incapable of conscious thought. Yes, and some of these guys, they've been to a lot of school. Some of these guys, they hold down some serious positions. Some of these guys, and actually, I am daring to say this, and a lot of you are going to boil and stew, and I don't care. A lot of these religious leaders are misogynists. It's not one particular religion. These guys who hide behind religion. I am a pastor, I am a meme, I am a meme, I am a comfort. Most of the people who subscribe to these leadership positions don't believe women can do those. A lot of pastors in particular are the ones I have experiences with, so I would name you. A lot of pastors, if you take a marital issue to them, will all bring this misogynistic view. The woman, oh, bad, you are the weak position. Don't aggravate the man. He is the head over you. Don't speak. Yes, all the money you make from your job, give it to him. He is the decision maker, extraordinary in your life. Let him be. Misogynist. And a lot of you are misogynists, but you don't even recognize yourselves. So today, I want to do you that favor. I want to review yourself to you. It is misogynistic, chauvinistic. Many of these guys who parade themselves as pastors when you go to see them, church people when you go to see them, his wife does not have a voice. His wife is just a puppet, keeping appearances, sitting in the counseling with you. So it looks like he's there with his wife. His wife has no voice. No voice. Misogynist. Misogynist, even if it is shrouded in religion. Misogynist. Chauvinist, even when it's shrouded in education. Misogynist. Chauvinist, even when it is shrouded in political leadership. Misogynist. Misogynists everywhere. Chauvinists everywhere. Few recognized my beef. My beef. So we will talk. So we will discuss. So we will review. And a lot of people will come to consciousness. You will come to consciousness for me for a whole reason. A lot of these people who are this way don't even recognize they are that way. And usually there is redemption when a person discovers that that's fundamentally who they actually are. Most people don't want to be that. Most people don't want to be that. So they become that unawares. And when you create that awareness, you actually help them to fix a problem. You are part of the solution. You are part of healing for these people. But the most important thing for me, and the reason why I share these videos, is that you become the architect of your own well-being and your own safekeeping. You become the lead consultant in the maintenance of your safety, so that you recognize what is not safe for you, what is not good for you, what is not there in the interest of your well-being, so you can intervene and you can demand and insist on what works for you. That's why I have these conversations. Yes, in our community, if you look at the men in our community, as I said at the opening of my video, it has nothing to do with the religion. If you go to the Islamic leader, he will tell you something which is identical to what the Christian leader will say to you. Think back to our community and reflect. Go back to the Okonfor, and the Okonfor will say the same thing. Go back to those who are woke and they've got common sense and not very common sense. They will say the same thing to you. Go back and have a look at the people who teach on our social media, and you will see the script is the same. The script is not provided by the religion. It's actually provided by our culture. The cultural construct is what determines a lot of these things. The religion is just the paint. You need a structure for the paint to coat. And it is the fundamental ideologies that people believe in. That's the thing you want to interrogate, not the paint, which is the religion. You want to test a person's core beliefs. Are they misogynistic? You can have misogynistic Christians. There are misogynistic atheists. There are chauvinistic people who don't even know where their religious belief is. Yeah. It is those ideologies you want to interrogate. It is those you want to clarify. Those are the things you want to know for sure, because you don't want to be caught. Have you understood me? Yes. Don't be fooled by the charisma. Don't be fooled by the dynamism. Don't be fooled by the delivery aplomb. It means nothing. Those are all skills. But hidden underneath these skills are core beliefs. That's what we want to interrogate. Behind all these masks, you have got the real face. That's what you want to know. Yes. Does a person fundamentally respect humans, irrespective of gender? You will know it when you come across him, because he will have both male and female people that they respect. You will see that they value opinions, not the gender of the source. Yeah. you will see that he values the women in his life. And he invites their opinions because he respects them. Then you know. Yes. He doesn't think only men should be consulted for certain things. And yeah. It's a day when we could come to work or not come to work, but I have to be here. So you have to flash your ID sometimes. These are the times within which we live. There we go. Anyway, listen. Yes, my job, it's a job. A man can do it. A woman can do it. When you meet a guy and the guy says, hey, you are a very wise man. Wow, for a woman, you are very wise. He is misogynistic. He's hiding it. Hey, for a woman, you are very knowledgeable. I'm like, for a woman? Really? When you hear that from a guy's mouth, know them. Know them. Because they will reveal themselves from the things they say. Don't challenge them. They know themselves better than you. They do. They sure do. And you have no business disagreeing with them. You have no business disagreeing with them. Yeah. Wow. And some of these things are actually said in admiration. Listen. Wow, for a woman, she's very strong. For a woman, she's very educated. Wow, for a woman, she's very opinionated. That is the misogynistic anthem. When you hear for a woman, because the rules are different in this person's head for what a woman conforms to and what a man conforms to. Oh, she's just a woman. When you hear that out of a guy's mouth, be very careful. Be very careful. Because that's actually the revelation of their fundamental ideology. If you are the kind of woman who is also misogynistic, because there are women who are misogynistic, good for you. That's the ideal guy for you. Because you have the same fundamental beliefs. You will get on well. I am not misogynistic. So I hear that word and I know we are going to conflict. Disappearance is what you are about to experience. Evaporation from that area. That is what you are about to experience. Because we will lock horns. Fundamentally, I am capable, regardless of the fact that there is a different set of things that go here. This is a brain and it has nothing to do with gender. This is my fundamental belief. And any guy who has any belief which is completely conflicting with this one, we are going to have issues. When I begin to develop, it is going to do some things to him here. When I begin to empower and to move forward, it is going to create issues here. There will be jealousies and a few things control and a few things exhibit themselves. There is no point waiting to find out because I know fundamentally I am not misogynist. They are misogynist. Serious conflict, run. Have you seen those videos on social media? Run. Don't discuss. Don't analyze. Run. And make sure that happens before you are married to him. Make sure that happens way before you are committed to him. Make sure that happens before he begins to think he owns you. Because they will begin to think they own you. Even if they've been dating you for 3 months. The minute he thinks he owns you, you are in trouble. Because he will not let you go peacefully. He will not let you go peacefully. If he cannot have you, he will kill you. If he cannot have you, he will destroy you. He will alienate you in the community. He will make your life a living hell. Because these guys fundamentally believe they own you. And you don't want to be in that space. Don't give a chance for a misogynist or a chauvinist or anybody who is psychologically warped to think they own you. Don't get married to them. It is better if you're not married to them. Don't even be their boyfriend, their girlfriends. It is better if you are not. Yes, we will discuss the other gender, but that's for me. People ask me, why don't you speak to the men? For the men, there are many people who speak for the men. I am addressing where there is a gap, and it's the education of the women, which has a gap in there at the moment that I want to address. If you want to speak for the men, pick up your China phone, your Italian phone, whatever phone you have. Every phone has a camera now. Pick it up and record your own video and leave me alone. You don't script me, okay? If you want to address whatever, counter misogynism, do so. Any ideology you want to explain and teach, but leave me alone to address where I see a gap and where I want to make a meaningful influence on. Thank you very much. I hope you appreciate the video. Share it with everybody you know, both male and female, misogynist or otherwise, because we could actually save some of these misogynists because they don't recognize that they are. Catch you soon. It's Manson. Thanks for watching.